What is shaking? Happy Wednesday to you. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Nice outside. Yesterday it's kind of warm. Today, nice. Let's thank our sponsor, Fieldwork. If you're out, if you're looking in your fridge going, kind of light, and stock up, head over to Fieldwork in Berkeley, in San Leandro, in San Ramon, Corte Madera, China Basin, before the game. Watch the game right there. The Cove, the ballpark. It's beautiful. Center field if you're at the ballpark. Convenient. How about going to Mission Rock? That's going to be opening really soon. Really soon. What's up, Bun? And then over in the Presidio next year. Look, there's a bunch of them. Go to fieldwork.com, fieldwork.org, fieldwork.gov, whatever it is. I think it's .com, actually. And all the sites are listed there, but they're all over the place. The one in Sacramento is pretty cool, too. I was there for the when the Warriors played the Kings in the playoffs, which we thought could happen yearly at that point. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Kings, Warriors play. Nope. No. 1 year, awesome 7-game series. Steph dropped the 50 bomb on him in Sacramento. Hung out there. That's where I went to the field. Hey, stop digging. I need to get a camera where I can just take the camera. I'm gonna have to pause at some point, just fill in that hole and put the weight over there. Hey, come on, Bun. Okay, I got to do this for those people that listen to this on Spotify. I'm gonna apologize to you, but let me just show. I'm gonna just show you what's going on. Oh, Lou's gone over there. Let's see. Lou got her. Lou's like, hey, leave that hole alone. Leave that hole alone. See all that dirt in there? Oh, there she goes. Look at now. Watch this. Look at her. Hut. 42, 57. Omaha. Black Razor. Hut. And then watch her move it. She's like a furry backhoe, is what she is. It's like a furry backhoe. Look at that. I feel like I'm doing a Jim Perkins thing, like Wild Kingdom. But seriously, that's I might get up and just go fill that hole in and put something there. You guys are just gonna have to deal with it. That's uh-oh. Now the bunny and dog are going at it. Fantastic. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, there she goes back to the hole. All right. I didn't watch Giants game today. Watched the last two. That was enough for me. I'll probably watch it a little bit later, go through it, and or should I? And basically, I'm reading just a few comments that I have in here. It's like, nah, don't bother. Don't bother. I mean, we talked about the Willie Adames thing, and then Henches comes on. It hits a couple just no. It's just, hey, you could win 15 in a row. No one saw the Red Sox coming. 15 games ago, nobody thought they could win. Get out of here. You can't win 4 games in a row. They won 15 in a row. Well, the Giants will need that just to get back just below 500. Just below 500. So we might get into a little bit of a baseball discussion. This may be something for another time. My buddy had an idea of a baseball rule change he wanted me to throw out there. I said it was dumb. I actually don't think it's dumb. I actually think it has some merit. I wanted to throw it out there. Let me mention this right off the bat, because here's what I'm dealing with today. I'm trying not to go down the road of there's not a whole lot to talk about. What should I get into? Should I talk about Brock Purdy being disrespected? and not being a top 10 quarterback and being listed at 87, by the players in the top 100. That's easy. I could do that. Purdy stuff plays. We know that. Everybody loves talking about Purdy, and everybody's got a strong opinion on Purdy. I just figure like there'll be more times. I'll pick and choose my spots with that because it'll never go away. It's like the belt wars. Somebody's always going to be waiting for Brock Purdy to mess up, and then they will crush him. And then that'll be the time to come back and go, yeah, but I hate to bring up these numbers again, but he's actually really good. He's actually a really good quarterback. But so that today's not that time. I could do that. I could do that. That's something we could do. Another something I could do. I thought, you know what? I'm kind of tired of the LeBron thing. I told you I found it funny that LeBron was holding the NBA schedule hostage. But I do have this for you. So I have this for you on the LeBron front. And you guys might be as tired as I am on the LeBron front. Here's what I have for you. And like I said, it's not, and I know you guys think I talk to just one person when it comes to basketball news. Mostly I don't talk to anybody because I don't bother people because it's not my job. I don't dig around, right? I'm not an insider. I'm not always hitting up people. I have relationships with these people, but I don't want to always hit them up. Hey, what do you know about this? What do you got on this? We do. But occasionally when you're like looking for stuff, you're like, hey, what do you have on this? So here's what I will tell you. It looks like this is common knowledge. It's down to Miami. And if you believe a slip of the finger and a Twitter post, LeBron's coming and then was deleted quickly or taken off quickly. If you believe that he's going to Miami, don't know. Ogden told me they have a new job opening, like social media director, whatever the hell it is there. So maybe somebody did screw up. I highly doubt it. I would imagine every team that he's been involved with. Thank you. Every team that he's been involved with probably has something ready to go. It's like ESPN News, right? Or ESPN. When somebody is old, they have the whole the death page, I call it. You got to have the death page ready. Particulars, what his accomplishments were, who he left behind, why he's noteworthy, born date, a date he died, that kind of stuff. Just slap it up there. Everybody has it ready so you don't get caught off guard. I would imagine the Warriors, the Cavaliers, the Sixers, maybe even the T-Wolves, the Heat, all have a page they could just, as soon as he signs, boom, it's up on social media. It's good to go. So I don't know if I really believe that guy. That's a mess over there, Bun. Absolute mess. So I don't know if I'm buying that. Then you have will he go to the Warriors without somebody else? That somebody else being AD, right? That's been kind of the news we've all been getting. Is he's waiting to see what the Warriors will do, which makes you believe he'd like to come to the Warriors, but he doesn't want to come to the Warriors as presently constructed. He wants them to make an addition. So here is what I can tell you. Here is the only news I have for you. This person tells me Anthony Davis will not be a Warrior. The Warriors haven't even contacted the Wizards. That's what I got for you. That's what I got for you. Now, you would think if they were going to bring Anthony Davis in here, they probably would have contacted the Wizards at some point. So there is your news. Anthony Davis, according to the person I talked to, doesn't believe he will be a Warrior, and that the Warriors haven't even contacted the Wizards about Anthony Davis or anybody for that matter. It's not like they would contact the Wizards for anybody else, I wouldn't think. But the fact that they haven't called leads me to believe that Anthony Davis is not going to be a Golden State Warrior. Now, does LeBron James want to come here without Anthony Davis? No one knows what he wants. That's the thing. Does he want the lifestyle? Does he just want to have some fun and play with Steph and Draymond and just, play fun basketball and, maybe do something in the playoffs? Chances of winning a title, not high. But again, I would never say never with a team that had Steph, Butler, LeBron, Porzingis, Horford, Draymond. I wouldn't say there's no chance. The chances of them being completely healthy and fitting together in 1 year, minimal, but possible. But it's not your best chance to win. Does he want to go to Miami? Reunite with the Heat? A starting lineup of Mitchell, Wiggins, him, Giannis, Bam. Like zero shooting. Like like they don't have any shooting. LeBron's kind of up and down with his three. Wiggins kind of up and down with the three a little bit. Wiggins isn't terrible, but it's not a team that has a lot of shooting. So does he want to go back there thinking they have a chance in the Eastern Conference? Which is going to get tougher this year. Indiana is going to be back and rolling again this year. So I think does he want to go to Philly, which probably affords him the best chance to win with Maxey and Brown and whatever you get out of Embiid? Don't know what that is. And I know Minnesota's been mentioned, but that just doesn't seem to be. But who knows? Who knows? Again, who knows? Who knows what he really wants? And then there's Cleveland. That one kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Going home. They definitely have the talent. You add him to the mix. Your starting lineup of Harden and Mitchell and him and Allen and Mobley. They definitely have the shooting because LeBron can shoot well enough. And then Mitchell's a decent three-point shooter. Harden's a decent three-point shooter. They're not great, but they're decent. And I think Harden proved last year that he's willing to take a backseat role, willing to be a playmaker. Doesn't always have to be the scoring threat. So that to me still makes the most sense. Cleveland makes the most sense. But as far as the Warriors, again, if it's contingent on Anthony Davis coming, then from what I've heard, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. If the Warriors have not called the Wizards and we're already in late July, then what are they just going to hey, maybe we should make that call. If it's been conveyed to them that he will come, but you need to upgrade your roster, and Anthony Davis is one way to upgrade that roster, and you haven't even so much as picked up a phone to call the Wizards, that kind of leads me to believe, and I'm not Kojak, it kind of makes me believe they're not interested in Anthony Davis, and they may not be interested in the price that would come with him. But again, let's just leave it at this. The Warriors have not called the Wizards. Make of that what you will. So, I'm kind of tired. Just go somewhere. And again, you want to win, go to Philly. That's probably your best chance of winning. And I didn't even mention Edgecombe. He had a really nice year for him too this year. So it's Philly. Philly to me is Philly's the spot if you want to win. It would be weird to see him go to Philly. But let's remember, Jordan finished his career in Washington. See how he circled back around to the Wiz? I mean, how odd was that? How odd was that? Jordan finishing his career in a Washington Wizards uniform. Now, I didn't go back and look at this, but I'm pretty sure he got a portion of the team somehow. I don't know how it was structured, because I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. circumventing the salary cap and all that. I know players today can't. I don't know if that was the same back in the 90s, that players couldn't receive a equity in the team, ownership stake in the team, however you want to phrase it. I don't know, but I thought maybe he got something because I think he was an executive with the Wizards after he got done playing because he was responsible for Kwame Brown. No one should be responsible for Kwame Brown. And then he went on to own the Hornets after that. And so there you go. You can move on with your day now. Once again, people I've talked to don't think Anthony Davis will be a Warrior. He won't be a Warrior. And that the Warriors have not called the Wizards at all. There you go. Giants, where the Giants at? I'm out here doing this show, and the Giants are doing. I bet you the Giants are doing what the Giants do, which is finding a way to lose a baseball game. Oh, looks like they've already found a past tense, found a way to lose a baseball game. Yep, 5-4. They give it the college effort. Got one in the ninth. Put up that one in the ninth just to make it look like you're a little bit closer. What did they give up here? Gave up 5 in the bottom of the 7th. Look, I'm going to tell you guys something. You guys can bitch and you guys can complain about Tony Vitello all you want to. Their pitching stinks. Their bullpen stinks. Their starters are just okay. Maybe the bottom side of mediocre, like okay. Not like awful, like, oh my God, these guys are like no. Webb is still a good pitcher. Not a great year for him. Had a good month, then just been kind of eh. Ray's been kind of up and down, although recently has been really good. Roop, who pitched today, was fine. 2 earned, 6 innings. But, I mean, let me go over his last 5. Let's go over Roop. Roop's last 5. Game log. I love the game log. I just click it up, boom. Earned run, 2-0-1, 6-2-2. So he's been pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 starts. He's been really good. So Roop is fine. He should be a 4, not a 3, really, but that's fine. That's okay. Molly is like, yeah, no, Hauser moved to the bullpen, all that. So whatever. You get to that bullpen is like no on the bullpen. I mean, I still think Wynn is the best of them, and I think Wynn can be a guy. I think Kid Wynn can be a guy. That changeup he throws is filthy. Every time I say changeup, I don't know if it's a split change or straight change. Might be a split change. I remember Bailey threw like 9 of those things in a row in Philadelphia earlier this year. Didn't work out for him, but I still think like he's a guy. I think Miller, in the right circumstances, can be a guy like that can pitch for you. Like maybe not a 9th, 8th, 9th inning guy, high leverage guy, but a 6th inning. Like I think Miller can be okay. But you just look like the one stat I look at when it comes to closers or when it comes to bullpen guys is WHIP. I don't really look at ERA because one bad outing can just jack you. Your ERA, you can take you 2 months to get that back. You give up 6 in an outing, you only pitch an inning at a whack, so maybe. So it's going to take you a couple of months to get that ERA back in order. So I look at WHIP more than anything. And I was looking at the like you look right here, Roop 398, Webb 387, Ray 333. Whips are 130 for Ray, 111 for Webb, 127 for Roop. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, for the relievers, Miller 145 whip, Killian 134 whip, Gage 165 whip, Walker not even there anymore 182 whip, Henges 155 whip. I mean, man, their bullpen stinks. So you get on Vitello all you want, whatever, fine. It hasn't been good, hasn't been whatever. That bullpen's awful. So, and I'm going to be against you guys on this, in that I know you guys want to get rid of everybody, and I said make everybody available. What are they? 17 games under 500 now? Is that what it is? So like I get your point. Like, oh, blow it up, get rid of them. You're 17 games under 500. There's a ton wrong with you. Yeah, but you can't just blow up a whole team. You can't blow up a whole team when it's going to be hard to move your guys. Guys that are making a lot of money, it's tough to move them. And when you're the Giants and you're paying $30 million for Adames, you're paying $25 million for Chapman, guys like that. And Devers has been raking the last few months, but those guys got to give you a performance that's kind of in line with 30 million and 25 million. Doesn't got to be exact, but it's got to be kind of close to it. Kind of close to it. Because you're not the Dodgers. You don't have guys all over the place, right? You don't have a Pages who is like supposedly the Dodgers like 6th or 7th best offensive player, who may be their most consistent offensive player this year, right behind Ohtani. You have a guy like Muncy, who nobody really thinks about much. And 18 games under 500. Thank you. A guy like Muncy, it was like, 5th or 6th. When you think of the Dodgers, you don't think of him. You think of Ohtani, you think of Betts, you think of Freeman, you think of Smith. Well, other than Ohtani, Muncy has been better than Smith. I haven't looked at Freeman's numbers lately. Paz has been better. Like, Paz has been really, really good. Been better than Hernandez. So let me ask you this. Whose OPS do you think is higher, Adames or Tucker? You know, because I asked you whose OPS is higher, Adames or Kyle Tucker. You know exactly whose it is, because I wouldn't have asked you if not. Adames 707, Tucker's like 690. Tucker stinks. Does anybody care? No, because the Dodgers are fantastic. Because the Dodgers have more than 1 or 2 good players. Because they can afford a whole bunch of good players. And then they develop guys in the minors. And they bring them up. And lo and behold, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Like, they can get by with Roblinski. They can get by with Sheehan because they have Yamamoto. Even Sasaki is kind of like hit or miss. You don't know exactly what you're getting with Sasaki. I've been better lately, but, they have Snell, who's been on the DL. Oh, he had 11 starts last year. 11. He might be lucky to get 11 this year. That's okay. Don't worry. We're paying you $30 million. Wait till the playoffs. Glass now, 18 starts last year. Who knows when he'll be back? August, September? That's fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. Just get us to the playoffs. We can use you in the playoffs. Ohtani? He had 14 starts this year. He's got 14 starts last year. That's it. 14 last year. He's got 14 this year. Knees bothering him. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll hold down the fort. We got you. That's what being able to spend the money the Dodgers has afforded them. Now, does it mean spending money is going to work, period? No, look at the Mets. Look at the Mets. You can spend money and still not be good, and you don't have to spend money to be good. Look at the Cardinals this year, battling. Look at the Rays this year, battling. Look at the Indians this year, battling. Guardians. The Brewers, I think, are 19th or 20th in payroll. They might be the best team in baseball. Although they've just Woodruff just went down, and shoulder doesn't look like he might pitch the rest of the year. Doesn't look like he might pitch the rest of his career. It's possible it could be over. So there's a lot of different ways to build a baseball team. But what I am saying is, if you're really smart and you have a lot of money like the Dodgers do, you can get away with mistakes. You can give Snell $30 million and have him pitch 10, 11 games a year. You give Glass now a bunch of money, have him pitch 16, 17 starts. You can give Tucker a bunch of money and have him actually play, but not play well. I mean, they're paying Mookie Betts $30+ million. I don't even know if Mookie Betts has a 720 OPS. Like, I have no idea what his OPS is, but I know it's not great. And again, OPS isn't everything. It's not everything. It just kind of gives me a quick baseline for what someone's doing. Maybe at Dodgers here. Dodgers, Betts, OPS. I'm guessing 7.25 maybe. Freeman's bumped it up, 840. Pa has 800. Ohtani 925. Tucker 695. Muncy 865, Betts 722, Hernandez, who they signed in the offseason, 692. So Smith 720, he's hurt. But they just, again, they I mean, I bet you didn't even know Eric Lauer started 12 games for him this year. Eric freaking Lauer. Their bullpen has been phenomenal this year. Their bullpen has been phenomenal. You look at their starters. Yamamoto's been great. Robolinski's been great. Sheehan, ERA, 5.13. Sasaki, 4.99. Lauer, 4.85. You go down the bullpen, man, that bullpen's filthy. And the bullpen last year struggled. So, again, bullpen's so important in today's game because you don't let your starters go deep. And the Giants bullpen stinks. It stinks. Okay? So I don't want to hear about Vitello mismanaging a bullpen. Fucking pitch well. Okay? Give him some options. You know how bad their bullpen is? Walker was supposed to be a closer. Him and his 1.82 whip. Man, how the pitching fortunes have fallen over the last couple years when everybody thought, oh boy, they have Rodriguez and they have Duvall and they have Walker and they're great and they stink. So, look, I get what you're saying about Vitello. I don't know what his relationship's like with the players. I don't. I haven't read anything about do the players connect to him? Does he connect to the players? If he doesn't, look, if he didn't, and the players were giving me shit at this point, and I felt like I was still kind of holding back because I don't want to ruffle anything. You're 18 games under 500, pal. Okay? Whatever is your self, whoever you are, whoever you want to be that person. If you got to yell at people, get on them a little bit, ruffle some feathers, go ahead. Now, granted, it's not college. You can't go in there and do the rah-rah shit and start screaming at people. These are men. These are grown men with families. But whatever you're doing, I would do something a little bit different. But you know me, crazy, wacky me, who thinks maybe the players should play better. Maybe they should be better. Maybe a guy like Willie Adames, who's making a shit ton of money, could be a little better. But even if he's not, it's baseball. It happens. He doesn't really owe them a certain standard, a certain level of play. They're hoping to get that when they sign him. What he owes them is being physically and mentally ready to play all the time. That's what you owe your team baseline. Guess what? When you're standing in front of second base on a force out in the bottom of the ninth on a bunt attempt, instead of on the base, you're not mentally in the game. When you forget how many outs there are, you're not mentally in the game. That's what he owes them. That's not leadership. That's not what a leader does. A leader gets on people, holds them accountable for screwing shit up like that. Except you're the one screwing shit up like that. So you can't get on somebody when you're the one doing it. And that's the type of stuff Tony Vitello needs to call people to the mat for. Like, what the fuck are you doing out there? And again, I said this yesterday because I said it when he forgot how many outs there were in LA. When I said, look, he knows nobody needs to crush him. Nobody needs to come down on him. He knows what he did. He understands what he did. Apparently, he did not understand what he did because he did something similar in Kansas City. He didn't forget how many outs there were. He just forget where the hell he should be. That kind of stuff can't happen. Can't happen. You're fucking 18 games under 500. Right? At least do the little things right. At least mentally be prepared to play. All right? At least know how many outs there are, know where you should be standing, backing up guys, on the move. Know when the ball's hit to me, where am I throwing it? Don't give up an extra 90 feet. Just do the little things well. tighten some stuff up. And if you're Vitello, that's the type of stuff you jump guys for. You get on them for. I'm not going to get on guys if I'm a basketball coach for shooting poorly. Do I think they want to go out there and shoot poorly? No, I don't think they want to go out there and shoot poorly. Am I going to get on guys for not rotating on defense because you don't know how we're playing a pick and roll? You're goddamn right I am. That's the type of stuff you need to know. Like, pro sports is hard enough. It's hard enough to get the big things right. At a minimum, you should get the little things right. And all it takes is a little concentration, a little preparation. That's what it takes. And if you can't get those right, and you're the manager, and you're not able to jump him for that, now I don't know, maybe he does. If he does and he's kept it quiet, that's what you want. That's what you want. I'm not here as a coach or a manager to embarrass you. I don't want to get in front of a microphone and embarrass you. But goddamn, if you can't get that stuff right, I got to be able to close that door and rip you a new ass. And you got to take it. You got to be willing to say, you know, you're right. I got to be better than that. I have to do better. So, I don't know. All I know is this team isn't good. Mostly the pitching, in my estimation, but it's the little things, too. It's the little things. We've talked about the stolen bases, the walks, all that kind of stuff. But the little things they haven't figured out. They're not good enough. They are not good enough. I always bring this, when I use this analogy, you're not good enough to screw up like that. I bring the Warriors into the conversation. Because when the Warriors had KD, they were good enough to screw around. They were good enough to turn the ball over. They were good enough to fuck around for a quarter and still come back and kick your ass. Because when they locked in and they took care of the little stuff, unbeatable. You could not beat that team when they were healthy. Couldn't beat them. But they got bored. Then KD leaves. They're not quite the same team, but they still think they could get away with the same stuff. They couldn't get away with the same stuff back then. Those type of things got them beat. The Giants aren't even close to good enough to being able to get away with the stuff they're doing. And what does it mean? It means you don't even give yourself a chance. Like, they need to take care of the little stuff to give themselves a chance to win. When you don't take care of the little stuff, you have no chance to win. And that's where the Giants are at right now. That's where the Giants are at right now. Oh, and did I mention the bullpen fucking stinks? I hate to keep going back to it, but god dang. I feel like I don't need to single somebody out. Just said the bullpen. Ain't none but garbage is what it is. So let me show you a couple little things from last night. And these are actually two teams that can get away with messing up a few of the little things and still win because they're good enough. They're talented enough. In fact, it was one game. And they both took turns doing stupid stuff. One was able to do a stupid thing and get away with it. One, not so much. Not so much. And one was a rookie that you still should know the rules. And one was a vet that absolutely should have known what to do and completely and utterly botched it. Let's show the highlight. Let's show the first one. This is top of the third, I believe it is. Yeah, top of the third. So Eliezer Alfonso, if you're a Giants fan and that name seems familiar to you, it seemed familiar to me, but I thought, nah, I was wrong. Eliezer Alfonso's son. That Eliezer Alfonso that played a couple years with the Giants has a son playing for the Dodgers. This is his 8th game that he's played. So the Dodgers have had all kinds of injuries at the catching position. So they bring Alfonso up to catch. And with 2 outs, he gets a double. Yay me. I got a double. Only been up here 8 games. This is awesome. This is sweet. Now Ohtani is up to bat. And you're thinking, well, if he gets a single, I'm scoring. If he gets a double, I might even walk in. Let's see what happens. Wheeler to the plate. Ohtani. Oh, that thing was smoked. Oh, it's kind of in the gap. Here comes Alfonso running around, chugging around. He's good. Oh, I'm going to ease up. Oh, I might be out. Let's see what happens here. Otani's going to try to stretch it to 2. Pages is not doing him any favors by saying stand up. Pages kind of screwed him up. And then Alfonso goes, oh no, I better put it back into gear. And then I put it back into gear and it's raining. So I step on home plate and I fall down. So I look like an idiot. I'm cruising. Shit, I'm not cruising. Oh, it's home plate. Oh, I fell. Damn it. Real Mewtwo's like, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Gotcha. Not so fast, Real Mewtwo. Not so fast. So yeah, Otani tries to stretch it. And for those that don't know, you should know, last out of the inning, you got to score before the tag is made at second base. So if you don't, inning's over on the tag and you don't get the run, which the Dodgers didn't get the run. So Pages hopefully Pages said, you know what? Kind of on me too. But he won't, probably. Just like nobody on the Michigan bench told Chris Webber to call the timeout. Now, Chris Webber should have known that was totally on Chris Webber, that he shouldn't have called that timeout. But there were people on the bench screaming at him, timeout. And they're like, what? No, don't look at me. No one's going to know who I am. So anyway, so that was base running blunder number 1. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You do stuff like that, you make it harder for your team to win. It was 1-0. Could have tied the game up. It didn't. Muncy hit a 2-run homer to put him up 2-1 the next inning. So it's like, okay, we're good. We're up. Should be 3-1, but it's 2-1. Sliding doors. You never know that Muncy would hit the home run if he'd have scored. So it's 2-1. And bottom of the 9th now. Phillies are up. They have second and third with 1 out. Second, third, 1 out. You remember JT Real Muto, who was behind home plate, and when Alfonso got when Otani got tagged out and Alfonso didn't score, he was like pumping his fist, like, "Yeah, suck it. That was stupid. You pay for your stupidity." Well, let's go ahead and see what happens here. 2-1. It's going to be a ground ball to the infield. Pinch runner's on third. I forgot who is it, but they're going to hit it. And let's just go. We got him. Real Mutu. I'm just going to stand on third. No, I'm not going to stand on third. I'm going to run back to second. Double play, out. Game over. In case I forgot to tell you, there was 1 out already. Now who's the stupid ass? Huh? Yeah, you're waving your fist, pumping your fist, like, aha, we got you. You did something dumb. You deserve that. You pay for it. And then you went and trumped him. You said, I think this is where you use the phrase, hold my beer. I'm pretty sure that's how you use it. I don't think that's gaslighting. Don't know what it means. I don't think it's JT Real Muto maxing. I don't even know what that means either. I'm not sure what any of those new things mean. But they mean something because all the kids use them nowadays. Bunny's like disappearing over there. I'm sorry. There's so much dirt over there. Maybe I'll show you at the end of the show what she's done and what I have to deal with. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's the stuff that makes it harder to win games. It made it harder for the Dodgers to win because it took a run off the board. It made it harder for the Phillies to win because, well, they lost. It would have been 2 outs, first and third. They would have had another shot to score a run, tie the game, maybe a home run, maybe double, maybe gapper, you win the game. But you don't because you didn't stand on third. Like, who doesn't know that rule? Just go stand on third. Just stand there. They're only going to get 1 out. The guy going back and forth home, he's out. He's out. I don't know why you thought, oh, I better take off and go back to second, where you had no shot to be safe. That's the dumb stuff that I'm talking about. And it happened with 2 good teams. So it happens. There he is. Look at that. I didn't think it was that long ago, man. I'm getting old as hell. There he is. There's Daddy. 21 years older than Junior. I was going to I'll get into this in September. I don't really need to get into all the football stuff now. Kirby Smart was talking yesterday because I don't know. I'm sure you guys have read about this. The SEC thinking about breaking away from the rest of college football and just doing their own thing? And would they really do that? Greg Sankey, the commissioner, said, "Yeah, it's been talked about. We're not just throwing it out there. Like, it's a possibility if everybody can't get their rules." Like, that's the problem with college football. There's no commissioner. There's no one commissioner that just says, here are the rules. Here's what we're dealing with. Here's your salary cap. Here's how it's going to be enforced. There's like just way too many things going on, right? NFL's 32 teams were good. We get a handle on that. There's over 100 college and Division I college football teams. There's just way too much going on. And there's a big disparity between the haves and have-nots where there isn't in the NFL. But in college football, there is. So it would be wild to think that the SEC could just say, yeah, we're good. We're just going to go play an SEC schedule. Maybe we'll add a few teams. Because think about it. They could. Let's say the SEC went out and got Clemson, Florida State, Miami. Who else? Maybe they throw Baylor in there. Maybe they throw Texas Tech in there. Maybe they just go to a 24-team like super duper league. And they have two 12-team leagues. And the 12-team leagues play each other. And then they have a playoff between those leagues. Like, they could probably pull something like that off. And I'd be honest, I'd be down with that. I'd be down like with the SEC teams that are just playing one another. Because if I were to look at this real quick, let me look. I love the scoring app. I can just get in here, NCAA football, standings. Let's see. Pac-12. No, I don't want the Pac-12. Who wants the Pac-12? Let's go SEC. Let's see who's Georgia's playing this year. Let's see what their non-con is like. Schedule. So, if Georgia were to play in just an SEC conference, adding a few teams, and let's just say for the sake of argument, they had 4 more teams. So let's say Texas Tech, they're willing to spend money. Florida State, who's been down, but they get back up. Miami and Clemson. The worst games like Georgia could play would be like Mississippi State, Vandy, who's good now, Florida, who hasn't been good but could be good again. Let me tell you who they're playing right now in non-conference. Tennessee State, Western Kentucky, and it looks like that's it. Oh yeah, because I think they're going to a 9-team conference. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. And then they got Georgia Tech. So they play Georgia Tech at the end. So Georgia State, Western Kentucky. Do you want to see those? No, nobody wants to see those. Nobody wants to see those. So instead of those, maybe you get like an Ole Miss or a Missouri. Alabama, non-conference schedule. East Carolina, not really. Florida State, okay. Gotcha. And Chattanooga. Oh, yeah, the Chattanooga, the SEC, the second or third, the penultimate weekend of college football, the one before that. Those are the worst SEC. SEC, boy, you want to talk about scheduling down? They schedule down. Who's supposed to be really good in the SEC this year? Oh, Texas is supposed to be really good. Let's see what Texas has for a non-conference schedule. Texas State, Pac-12. Don't laugh. Pac-12. Ohio State. Okay, that's money. UTSA. That's not bad. Look, if you're going to throw Ohio State in there, I'll give you a freebie. I'll give you a freebie or two. Because at least you're risking a loss. LSU's got Clemson. Cool. You're good. You're good to go. Who's Tennessee have? Tennessee, Furman, Kennesaw State, Georgia Tech. Kennesaw State? What? Furman? The Paladins? What are we doing? So I look. Here's all I want. Here's all I want for Christmas. You know my college football play, like SEC Big Ten. That's the ultimate dream. I just want to see these teams play each other. Stop it. There is no Furmans in the NFL. Even though you think there is, Miami's not Furman. The Cardinals are not Furman. Oh, that's something I got to get into. I keep forgetting to get into that. That dude for the Cardinals that was supposedly wagering on draft picks. I got to look into that. That hasn't gotten a lot of play. I'm gonna have to look into that and see what the hell is going on. See what's going on. Did he hit like some big parlay on their draft picks? I'm gonna have to look into that. See what's going on. But I do want to get into the college football stuff. We'll do more of that in August. August, hopefully, we're just gonna do like a lot of like football, a lot of college football, a lot of pro football as we ramp into the season, and then we'll get the baseball gets into September. We get some pennant races and stuff like that. Then things start ramping up, and that's one of my favorite times of the year. Hockey just gets going, so the Sharks will get going. We'll see what kind of team the Warriors have assembled. But really, it's about football starting in baseball. I love the baseball playoffs, and so yeah, I don't have time to really get into that and do it justice. But I'm kind of curious to look into that and kind of see what I do know this. If you think you're going to get caught, if you think you're going to do this and not get caught, you're probably wrong. You're probably wrong. Because the watchdogs are the companies themselves. Because they're the ones that stand to lose money. They're the ones that have to pay out. Those are the best watchdogs. FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, whatever, whoever. It was hard for the companies to be the watchdogs when it was illegal, right? When you had the offshore books. Because what are they going to do? If somebody cheated them, they could alert the authorities, but then it got kind of like, it's much easier to do this way with legalized wagering. I think the chances of you getting caught are much higher. Although Headache Smith, there have been stories of people fixing games that have got caught. I think that was a Vegas casino where they thought they would just roll in and bet huge money on an Arizona State game. Like that's never going to work either. You're not just going to roll in, drop a couple $100,000 on a college basketball game in a Vegas casino, and they're not going to raise an eyebrow like, "Oh, that's an odd bet. We don't know these people. Why are people betting ASU basketball games?" Maybe I'll make a call and have somebody look into it. That's how it happens. That's how it happens because the books don't want to lose money. All right, comments. We got any comments? I feel like that was better for me talking about the Giants and like getting it out rather than watching them again. It felt like it worked better for me. Guess what though? They got the Halos this weekend. Oh baby. Are they the two worst teams in baseball? Are the two worst teams in baseball getting after it? Let's see. Angels are the worst team in the American League, 41-61. They're kind of screwing it up though. They won 2 in a row against Cardinals. And the Giants are 42-60. Oh. Rockies got them by a game and a half. Okay, 2 of the 3 worst teams in baseball are squaring off over at Oracle. You know what you need to watch that kind of action? A Fieldwork. You need to go to Fieldwork before that. If you're going to that game, go to Fieldwork. I don't know how you would watch that game without going to Fieldwork. Go to Fieldwork, China Basin, grab yourself plenty of liquid refreshments, and then head over to the ballpark and watch the Angels and the Giants, 2 of the worst bullpens in the game. The Angels bullpen, it stinks as well. They're awful. They're terrible. They're a bunch of dudes that are +7, -7 guys, which means if you're up 7, put them in. If you're -7, put them in. That's fine. The Angels bullpen is garbage. Garbage. But let me tell you something. The Giants are better than the Angels. They should be better than the Angels. Their lineup is better than the Angels. Their starting pitching, Angels probably got them there. Detmer's been pretty good this year. Sayana's been pretty good this year. Urana's been pretty good this year. They're actually not terrible when it comes to starting pitching. They have a couple. I hope they get rid of them too. But the Giants, it's going to be a battle for the ages. It's going to be a battle for the ages. The Giants and the Angels this weekend. Catch it live at Oracle. All right, let's get some comments. Let me see what this one is. Let me make the screen bigger. Kind of weird that Passon thinks, other than Arise, Jung-Hoo Lee is second most likely Giant. Top 5 list of who I don't know who could be traded, who I'd like to see traded if I'm a Giants fan, who I would like to see traded. Because to me, everyone's on the list. Of course, Jung-Hoo Lee and Arise are guys who people would covet because they're playing well and their contracts aren't completely out of hand. Arise is just 1 year. I think Jung-Hoo Lee has got 3 more years left, possibly 4-3, but 19 million. It's not a huge amount. So yeah, those are going to be guys that people covet. Now, you'd like Jung-Hoo Lee to walk more. Story of the Giants. We'd like you to walk more. Maybe that should be their slogan. The Giants, we'd like you to walk more. I think that has a nice ring to it. Use it for next year. But his bat to ball skills are fantastic. He's been really good. So yeah, of course, people are going to want him. I wouldn't want to trade him, but I would. I've told you, everybody, including Webb, for me is on the block. If you're 18 games under 500, everyone's on the block, but I'm not giving guys away. Ideal, dream scenario, I think, you'd love to see him get rid of Adames and Chapman, but I'll say Adames, get rid of Adames first, keep Chapman because Chapman still got a glove. You're not getting rid of Devers, forget about it. Just not going to happen. And plus, he's been hitting. Now, if Eric Burns is right, like he's just not good clubhouse guy, you want more from a guy that makes that type of money. Okay, I get it, but I still think you probably knew a lot of this stuff coming in. You don't need to get rid of him. So if Adames goes, ain't happening. That'd be fine. Ray should go. Arise should go. Ramos can go if you want. I would really like to beef up the outfield defense. Just get as good defensively as you could. Hopefully some of the young guys that are coming up can fill that in the next couple years, 2-3 years. Webb, love to keep him. If somebody makes you an incredible offer for some more a couple top 100 prospects, okay. I don't know. Arise, Jung-Hoo Lee, Adames, Ramos, Ray. There. That's 5. And who you want? Anybody want anybody in the bullpen? I'd keep Wynn. I like Wynn. I think Wynn can be a guy at the back end of the bullpen. I really do. I think his stuff plays. Other than that, like I said, Miller. I think Miller can be useful, but there are so many guys in that bullpen that you're just like, if you left, wouldn't miss you. Schmidt. Schmidt's a guy. I'm still not. He hit his 20th home run today. If somebody wanted to give me a really nice package for Schmidt, I'll be okay with that too. I'll be okay. Look, again, you're 18 games under 500. I'm going to be okay with a lot of things. Untouchables, Eldridge. You're not getting Eldridge. Period. Other than that, I don't know if there is a guy. I'm trying to think. Is there a guy that I would say absolutely no to? He's a no. Unless you're giving me 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Top-notch pitching prospects. And one that's maybe young and's already in the big leagues. That's it. But even that, I'm hesitant. All right, a few more comments. We'll get out of here. Giants halos. Nah, I can't imagine. But you know what? If they get off to a rough start next year, right, and start tanking, I mean, Buster would be tough to think that. I think he's so tied in with the ownership group. That'd be rough. It's rough out in them streets. Like, you can be a really good player, and maybe this just isn't your gig. Michael Jordan, greatest of all time, wasn't really his thing with Washington or Charlotte. So I don't know. Vitello certainly, but not this year. If you're going to go out on a limb and do something that's never been done before and expect that it was going to work out seamlessly, no one thought it would be this bad. Again, I'm more players pick it up than Vitello, but you got to give him a couple. You got to give him a couple years, at least a year and a half, to see, like, is he learning? Is he growing? Is he going to get this? Like, what are the relationships with him and the players? I don't know that I've read that. I don't know if someone in the know knows for sure. Like, they had some, because that would be something players would tell you off the record, right? They wouldn't want to tell you on the record. Yeah, this guy. All they're going to tell you on the record is, I like him. I like him. We're figuring it out. It's on us. And that's what you should say as a player. Really good teams have guys, managers, front office that all say, this is on me. That's what good teams do. They take, like, I gotta be better. I have to be better. So I don't think so, though. But I would say if one is going to get canned, I would think Posey would step down rather than, like, get canned. I would think he'd probably say, I've had enough. This just isn't, I haven't, but we're not there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So, and I don't know. Biggest position in need for the Giants if they trade. Yes, center field starting pitching. Relief pitching. Okay? Relief pitching. You can always pick up relievers too. They don't have to because they're not in the pennant race. But if you could pick up, like, relievers for, like, the next couple of years, but don't worry about that. You can figure that out during the off season. Center field, starting pitching. And yes, if you get somebody at the back end of the bullpen, the catching, I'm okay with the catching for now. I kind of like, mixing and matching a little bit, trying to figure out what they have. But what if I'm a Giants fan, if I'm Giants front office, and I know what they're going to say because everyone says the same thing. We're just looking for ways to get better. Revelatory, right? I mean, like, there are teams out there that are like, I'm going to look for something that makes us worse. Like, we get it. Or everybody's trying to find angles to make them better. But the quickest avenue for me is starting pitching. Can you find starting pitching? It's the toughest commodity to find in baseball. And apparently a few years ago, the Giants had a surplus of it. And now they have, like, none of it. None of it. Wynn was a starter. He's a back-end bullpen guy. Wisenhunt was supposed to be a stud. Hasn't got there yet. Harrison was supposed to be a stud. He's turning into one for the Brewers. Like, these guys have either gotten hurt or they haven't panned out or they've panned out somewhere else. So, yes, pitching. And pitching, look, no, God, no. God, you caught me off guard with that one. No. No, Bradley Beal. No. God damn, you made me lose my train of thought with that. You just threw a Bradley Beal up there. I was like, what? Where'd that come? What happened? But look, pitching is hard to come by. We know this. Pitching is, the Giants can sell pitching in free agency. We've talked about them having a hard time selling, come to our ballpark. It's not great for hitters, but you'll have fun. The views are great. The vistas are awesome. Nice clubhouse, good spread. but the hitting here is a little tough. You want to come? Not really. I don't. The only one that they had that got away because of the medicals was Correa. Do you want Correa right now for 30 mil? Probably not. So you have to trade to get those guys in, which is why they took a chance on Devers to get a hitter like that because they're not coming. But you should be able to bring guys in on the free agent market that are pitchers. You would think a pitcher would love to come here. Like Gosman came here, right? Gosman came here. Rodon came here. And then they got the Ray in the trade. But you should be able to get pitching. I don't know why I'm sitting up now. You should be able to get pitching. So hopefully the hitting in the minors pans out, right? I think most of the guys are playing short, but that's fine. It's like Little League. All your good guys play short, and they just start playing different positions at a certain time. Like hopefully all those guys pan out, and they have a problem figuring out where to play them all. Hopefully they have that problem. But as of right now, yes, center field would be a nice position to cover. Yes, starting pitching would be a nice position to cover. Yes, back into the bullpen. Rodriguez, I don't know when he's coming back, but maybe he comes back and he's the guy. So you don't got to worry about that. But yes, if they could get any of those things, outfield help, maybe even left field too. Because I like Ramos, but again, if you're going to go pitching and you're going to go defense, then let's get all in on this. I'm not saying they're going to win championships the way they won them in 10, 12, and 14, but you got to play to your ballpark some, right? You got to play to your ballpark some, and they really haven't. So, all right, what else we got? Well, it depends. Are they going to get LeBron? If they get LeBron, he ain't starting. But there's a chance he could early on before Jimmy gets back. I would imagine right now your starting lineup could be Steph, Pods, Yaxel, Draymond, Porzingis. And then when Butler comes back, I mean, you could put Butler at 2. You could put Jimmy at 2, and have Yaxel starting, give you some more length, which would probably be the way I would go. And maybe I'm missing somebody on the roster right now, but I mean that sounds feasible to me. I mean, it all depends on what Yaxel does in camp, how comfortable Steve is with him, how quickly he picks things up. He looked good in summer league. I don't really put much stock into summer league, into spring training, into preseason football games. Like, let's see the real deal. So we'll know more once Yaxel goes through a camp and where Steve sees him fitting in. But if he can shoot it reasonably well, again, I think Yaxel is a jack of all trades, master of none. And that's not a slight. It's nice to have guys that can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? They can rip a rebound and play make. They can shoot a 3. They can defensively get up into people a little bit. They can help you out a little bit here and a little bit there without being a dominant guy. They can do, some of your best players aren't guys that can do everything. Steph can't do everything. You think Steph is a really good defensive player? He's not. He's below average. He's better defensively as a team defender, but as a man-on-man defender, he's better than he was because he's worked his ass off to get his body built up to where he can, kind of hold his own more. But that's not his thing. Like, he's just so dominant as a scorer and a shooter, it just overwhelms everything else. And he's a good playmaker. And he's a good finisher. Maybe not as good as he was when he was younger or in the middle of his career, but he's a finisher. And just the fact that he's out on the court makes it easier for everybody else. Like, that's his true hidden value. But most great players aren't great at everything, but they're so great at that one thing it just lifts everything up. It lifts everything up. Like, what was Magic's greatest skill? He was a great playmaker. Great playmaker. Great in the fast break and great leader. Was he a great shooter? No, not at all. Was he a great scorer? No, but he could score if he had to. But he was a traditional point guard that could score 20 points a game, which is crazy. Was he a good rebounder? No, he was a great rebounder for a point guard. Defensively, was he good? Not really. He had a hard time staying in front of guys. But what he was great at, he was great at. Great at. Like Steph, what he's great at, he's great. Like all-time great at. That's why when you look at some of the best players of all time, there's not a lot of flaws in their games. Michael Jordan, not a lot of flaws in his game. Great shooter from outside? No, but became better. He didn't need to shoot from outside. Great scorer, one of the greatest scorers of all time. Great rebounder for a guard. Maybe not great, but really good. Great playmaker, not great, but really good. Probably could have been great if he wanted to. Great defender when he needed to be a great defender. Remember, it's hard to be a great defender and a great offensive player. It's just so much energy gets expended. Sometimes you got to pick and choose. LeBron, where does his greatness lie? LeBron's greatness lies in that, like, maybe, like, because he's a great playmaker. Like, that's probably his greatest skill, his IQ and his playmaking. But the thing about LeBron is, like, he was a master, like a jack of all trades, maybe a master of none, other than playmaking and IQ. But but his jack of all trades was like right below the great level, right? Like right below the great level. Great shooter, not really. Great scorer. You don't think of him that way, but he was a great scorer. Great rebounder. Maybe you don't. Yeah, great rebounder. Great playmaker. Yeah, great playmaker. Like he was so good at like everything. Everything. That's why he's one of the greatest of all time. Kareem. Great offensively, great defensively, right? Pass out of the double teams and stuff. Rebounding, absolutely. Shot blocking, absolutely. Like, I don't know why people forget about him when they talk about the greatest of all time. They just talk about LeBron. They talk about Jordan. I don't know why they don't talk about Kareem. Kareem was great. And don't say, could he shoot it? They didn't ask centers to shoot it back then. He had the most unstoppable shot in the history of the game. So, but yeah, I was talking about Yaxel, and I got into like greatest players of all time. There you go. All right, couple more, and then we'll get out of here. What do we got? We've hit basketball. Hell, we have. I'm surprised we'll get into some football questions at some point. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think Clay's going to end up with the Warriors. I don't know that he wants to be with the Warriors. It's too hard. Here's a problem that Clay ran into toward the end of his Warrior tenure. He remembered all the stuff he did for the Warriors and all the good times he had for the Warriors and the player that he was for the Warriors. And he kept trying to recreate that. Like he wanted to be that guy. And he didn't think the Warriors were treating him with respect because of what he had done for the Warriors. And make no mistake about it. Like, they don't win all those championships. We always say they don't win those championships without Draymond. They don't win them without Clay either. Because him and Steph Curry were the best backcourt in the history of the NBA, in my opinion. They fit together like a glove. I mean, the way they fit together was beautiful. And Clay thought, well, they owe me that respect. I should be starting. I should be getting more shots. I should be doing this. But Clay wasn't the same player that he was early on. So it's hard to be on the team that you helped win 4 championships, that you will have a statue. If they do statues, he will be one of them. He should be one of them. It's hard at the end of your tenure to not be that same player and not be treated like that same player. Like Clay was hunting shots even more than he hunted them, like when they were winning their championships. In fact, he didn't even hunt them that much. He knew they'd come back around to him, and he'd get as many shots as he wanted to, and he got them. At the end of his Warrior tenure, man, that guy was like hunting shots, and he wasn't the defensive player that he was. So his value wasn't as high with the Warriors as it once was. And the Warriors knew that. I don't know if Clay knew that. Clay didn't want to accept that. And then it became like the one game that let me know it was over. And I can't remember the exact game, but they were playing the Clippers. Maybe you guys will remember this game. They're playing the Clippers. The Warriors are coming back down late. They come back. They cut it to 3 with like 30 seconds left. Get a stop, get a 3. Maybe you tie the game. Maybe you go to overtime and win the game. Clay was on the bench for, I don't know, it was a lengthy time. Steve went down to put Clay in, and Clay looked at him like, really? Now you want me to go in? Like, yeah. So Clay was bitter. Clay goes in the game. They're down 3, 30 seconds left. Inbound, the Clippers have the ball, inbound it. And what does Clay do? Intentionally fouls. Why did Clay do that? Because Clay wasn't in the game mentally. He wasn't in the game. He was dreaming. He was dreaming of like earlier times, how good it used to be here. I don't know what he was thinking about. I know one thing. He was pissed off and his head wasn't in the game. There is no way you come back into the game and then foul immediately when you know you don't need to foul. And I'm sure they said no foul, and he fouled. That's when I knew he was toast. He's done. Mentally, he's not into it. And that was it. That was it. So do I think he'll come back? Not unless he's able to rewire his brain and say, look, this is my role here. I'm not the 4-time championship player that I once was. That's not my role. Can he come back? And I can't imagine it working. So I would be a hard no on that. Let the memories of Clay, aside from the last year he was there, let those be the memories that Clay has of being with the Warriors. And let those be the memories that Warrior fans and the Warriors have of him being with the Warriors. Like, as time fades, no one's going to remember that crap at the end. No one's going to remember that Clipper game. I will. Because that's how I roll. Do I hold it against Clay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know what it's like to be a Hall of Fame player at the top of your game and then not be able to summon those powers, and not be able to summon those powers with the team, with the coach, with the teammates that I did it with. And I don't feel like I'm getting the respect. So no, I don't want to see Clay. I don't want to see Clay back here. And hopefully Clay won't be back here. All right. Any more? I'm going to reiterate, too, just for those that joined this late, that didn't hear what I said earlier about LeBron coming here and wanting AD to come here. From what I've been told, AD ain't coming here. And the Warriors have not even called the Wizards about Anthony Davis. I'll repeat that. The Warriors have not called the Wizards about Anthony Davis. Does that sound like a team that is going to bring in Anthony Davis to appease LeBron so LeBron will come here? It doesn't sound like that to me. So it sounds like either LeBron's coming or not, but not because of Anthony Davis. Other players, I don't know about. I have no idea about those players. So, will I go watch the Odyssey at the movie theater? Yes. Will I go watch it in 70 millimeter IMAX? Don't know. Don't know. I do know this. I got on Fandango last night, and over in Dublin, the 70 millimeter IMAX in Dublin sold out 2 weeks from now at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, I would like to see it in IMAX. It would be cool. I don't have to see it in IMAX. I'll just see it in Alameda at the Historic Theater. Yeah, no. I'm not going to the 6 a.m. show. I'm not going to the 3 a.m. show to go see Odyssey at IMAX. So anyway, somebody must be here. Kai might be here. He may be here to see Camila come hang out because Lulu's going crazy at the door. So do we have anything else? Let me show you this. If you have any questions, pop up. You got one more comment. I'm going to show you what Bunny ended up doing. There you go. Bunny just completely. Bunny would have been amazing in World War One. Can you imagine Bunny out there just digging trenches? Trench warfare. You had Bunny, you were killing it in trench warfare. Because she was like, "You need a trench? I got you. I got you." So now I need to go get a broom and fill that up. And this may be the last you see of this canopy back here. As my son called it yesterday, kind of janky. Kind of janky. Uh, so my wife doesn't love it either. So it is. It is. I see where they're going. It's a canopy that's always up. It's a little dirty and it's got Christmas lights on it. It's kind of got the end of the house at the block, keeping their lights up in February, janky look to it. But it's functional. Keeps the sun off my head. And during the winter, I can turn the lights on, which are pretty cool, in the fireplace. But I ordered. You'll be happy to know. You probably won't. You probably don't care. But I did order a huge umbrella that should look nicer and has solar lights in it. So the lights will come down. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. My son says I need to get a new room, like a podcast room that has sports memorabilia in it and looks kind of cool. You know, kind of a not a McAfee vibe, or Rogan has kind of his cool thing going on there. And look, if somebody wants to give me $60 million to do the podcast, I'll have the best room you could ever imagine. Like no one would top my sports empire room if I had that type of money. It would be phenomenal. It would be incredible. Probably not going to happen. But I like doing the show outside. I like being outdoors doing the show. So, all right. Do we have any more? Are we done? I think Lou might be hungry. Who's drunk the most beer among the guests? You know what? It's funny because no one really drinks that much. We might have 2 or 3 beers a show, but yeah, nobody comes over here. Ray drinks his wine. When Kyle and John were over, John Lynch and Shanahan had his Tito's and blueberry Red Bull. He had one. Lynch had a couple beers with me. Who else have we had? Mike Silver will have a couple. We had a couple beers with me. He'll have a couple beers with me. Hopefully, I'll have Mike on in August. Yes, Bill. Yes, thank you. I love you. Anybody that can listen so much that they know who drunk the most in the backyard. Bill Martin. Bill Martin was in here, and we went at it. We probably had 4 or 5. That's probably but I just got to walk in the house. I don't got to do anything. So yeah, Bill Martin. But we need to get Billy back on too. We need to get Bill back on. So hopefully we're gonna get some. We'll start hitting some football stuff. And like I said, in August, I'll try to get as many football guys as I know to do some football, some college. I love college. Dr. Bob hopefully will be back on Fridays. Football season. Dennis Ranahan. I haven't talked to Dennis in a while. Hopefully Dennis will be back on Fridays. We'll do our football handicapping show, our football preview shows, all that kind of stuff. Bergie will be back on Sundays after the games, so we'll break it down. Brent Jones on Mondays to break down the games. So, but August, we're going to try to make football until September. Then we'll do football and baseball. Because, and here's the thing. I said this earlier on, and I hope you guys appreciate this. And you guys have other options. You can watch other shows and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people that just do football because they realize that's what people want. They just want football. And I get bored doing that. We'll do a lot of football, but I like basketball. I like baseball. I like hockey. You guys know this about me. But if I came out here and talk football, our numbers would probably be higher. Subscriptions would be whatever. That's okay. I'm not in it just for that. What I like, more subscriptions. I like more views. Yeah, it's cool. It's great. But this is like, I'm just doing this. Like, I want to have fun. And fun for me is interacting, and fun for me is talking different sports, and fun for me is talking the goofy stuff that goes along with sports. So, but we'll have plenty of football. Anyway, Krug, I don't think Krug had a ton of beers. Did he? Think Krug had a few. Krug had 2 or 3. Krug had 2. Hey, come on. Yeah, we're just about done. What time is it? Is it that time? She's shaking. It's like way over time. Yeah, Mayoko. Yeah, Matt had a few. Matt definitely had a few. There's no doubt about it. All right, we're gonna have to get out of here. So Friday, Susan Slusser joins me. We'll talk Giants trade deadline Friday, and then Dave Fleming is gonna join me next Monday. Okay, come on, please. Next Monday, Dave's gonna join me, so we'll talk some Giants. We're gonna do recap Giants and Angels. Okay, come here. What? Are you done? Look, she's like shaking. She's like, please, can you give me my food? All right. Hey. You're nuts. You are nuts. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you want. Tell them, Lou. Tell them. Like, subscribe. Are you hungry? Oh. And head over to Fieldwork. If you're going to the Angels Giants tilt this weekend, head over to Fieldwork before you go to the game. Make me happy, make them happy. We love Fieldwork. You know what else Fieldwork likes? Doggies. They like their doggies and their kitties, so we like that. Everybody have a great Wednesday. We'll be back Friday with Susan Slusser, talking a little Giants, talking a little trade deadline, and whatever else we can get into. Until then, have a great day, everybody. See ya.
And remember this, Tommy T, cash and tickets is what it's all about.